Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Gamers Den, the show where me, the host, give you all the newest video game content, and you can stay for the pop
And
culture
co-host.
knowledge. Yeah, and I got my co-host here today, Leo. However, we've got something very different for you. All this week, as well as the entire
Week after next.
And going forward,
Alternating.
they will alternate between Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You're not going to get your normal stuff this week, but every other week you'll get this stuff. So just keep that in mind. Today, instead of the Anime Lounge, we have the Super Fanatics, where we look at everything comic related, from Marvel and DC to Kim Possible and Kids Next Door. If you could think of a villain of the week type deal or comic, it'll show up here at some point. So if it's just a specific episode of, say, like the
Villain
Mermaid
of the week.
right, like a Mermaid Man and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode.
Boy, you're fumbling a little bit this morning.
Can I help? I've got a stutter.
Now that's all, folks.
Are you making fun of my stutter on camera, no less? Asshole. But today I figured a good way to start this part of the channel, at least, would just, gauge which side
You sit on.
we sit on. More specifically,
Marvel
if we
and
had superpowers, which team would we choose? The Avengers or Justice League? Now, the reason I picked these specific teams is because they pretty much have every hero at some point. Very few heroes from Marvel or DC, respectively, have not been those teams at some point. But we'd be here for ages talking about all the other characters.
Even
all
Deadpool?
the characters. Deadpool has, yes. Only enough. So,
I could have sworn Deadpool was just X-Men.
well, that's the thing. The X-Men themselves have popped up, and as Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and everybody else. Most of them have been part of the Avengers at some point.
Well, I think I've already got an idea which way I'm leaning.
Now, we're gonna start with the smaller one and we're only gonna be focusing on the main ones, as well as a few exceptions here and there. Notable exceptions. So, starting off, Justice League. The big three, the big trio: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. These guys, I'd be able to kick it with Batman. Batman, I'd be able to get along with. Wonder Woman,
okay,
neutral.
Mr. Dark and Brooding.
Hey, I get it, man. I get it. Hey, I get it. Hey, I need my space too, man. And let's face it, I'm with him. I don't trust Superman. I don't.
Why? Just because he came from another planet?
Not just that. Dude's way too damn happy, and on top of that, he's a little more likely to kill you than Batman will. He's a little more likely to kill. And plus, the Duke is vulnerable to magic and a glowing rock.
From his home planet, no less.
Batman has taken this guy down without that stuff half the time. Let's face it, Superman is weak compared to Batman. Batman's very rarely lost.
Boy, this is going to turn into an explosion of the comment section.
No, I mean, if they look at the comics, if they actually look at the comics like I do,
well, I'm just saying that doesn't mean people aren't going to be pissed off.
that I don't like Superman. Okay,
You'd be surprised about the fan bases.
If they're pissed off at that, that's dude literally has a comic book line that has Red Sun on it. Basically, he instead of landing in Mom Parkin's home, like, little farm, he lands in Russia and becomes a commie.
I'm just saying, there's people who are gonna, maybe not that particular brand of comic.
Alright, but yeah, don't get me wrong, guys.
Who are gonna favor one over the other.
I will watch the Superman stuff every now and again, and I love the Superman the animated series, but I can't trust someone that's so quick to dismiss villains, no matter how much. Batman has and to a certain extent, Wonder Woman have tried to rehabilitate their villains. Some of them. The Joker, I don't think can be redeemed.
I don't think Joker's going to go back.
Then again, he did become the new Robin at some point recently.
I'm sorry, what now?
Yeah, in the most recent storyline, his head got attached to a Robin bot, and he became a good guy for a little bit. He's helped Batman numerous times before, actually. Granted, to fight a bigger threat, but beside the point.
Anyway.
Superman does not work with Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman sometimes has to work with some of the villains. But, yeah, right out the gate, not looking too good for Justice League, for me at least. What about you? Who would you be able to get along with, I suppose?
Out of those three...
Yeah, exactly. It's not exactly easy
well,
to figure
if
out.
we're just talking about those three specifically...
To start out with. There's a good ones to start out with. I mean,
honestly,
the big three.
Honestly, for me, Batman's too broody.
Okay, just because he's broody does not mean he can joke, and honestly, let's face it, you'd be broody too if your parents were killed at 10 years old. You had to grow up super freaking quick.
Well,
just saying. I mean,
I was
you
halfway there at 11. And on that note, let's shift to some of the other members of the Justice League.
Okay, so another prominent
Why
member.
the hell did I do that?
I don't know. Another prominent member is Aquaman. Now, depends on which Aquaman we're talking about. If we're talking about the kind of, like, he's had a lot of crap thrown at him and everything to Aquaman, like Jason Momoa's Aquaman, or the one from the Justice League animated series, yeah, he's a little abrasive. He's like Batman, but worse. But, on the other hand, you got the one that's kind of boisterous, outrageous, that one. He's too loud. In other words,
you don't like him.
I can't really kick it with Aquaman.
I might be able to.
It's not that I don't like the guy. The guy's got his moments where I actually prefer him over Superman.
Honestly, I think I'd probably kick it with the more boisterous one. Considering the way I am.
But he's just a little too loud for my tastes.
Oh, too loud for your sensitive ears.
That's why I don't like Barney. So, take that with what you will. It's a sensory thing, dude. But, yeah, Aquaman, he's got two different...
I was making the dogs have good hearing.
Funny.
Thank you.
That was not sincere.
I'm aware. I'll take any kind of compliment.
Even backhanded?
Yes. Because I can return a backhand to you.
Alright, next up is Green Lantern and Flash. The reason I'm lumping these two together is because they're usually paired together. They're friends, they're comic relief characters. However, I'd be able to kick it with Flash. He might be the youngest member of their team, but he's usually the one that I can probably say, okay, kid, it's okay. We gotta make a plan first. Okay, don't just go running in. I know that's your stick, but don't go running in, please.
That just reminds me of, I can't remember which series it was, where he's like, I'm the fastest man alive. No wonder you can't keep a girlfriend.
That was Justice League. That was a dirty ass joke. Hawk Girl ain't shit for that.
Why?
Because come on, man.
That was a savage throw, and you know it.
I know, and she wasn't shit for it either.
She moitered that boy.
Yes, but Green Lantern. Okay, I'd be able to kick it with Hal Jordan if only for one thing. That's the power ring. I don't do aliens, man. I don't trust them. I really don't trust any aliens.
I mean,
good or bad.
I mean, in all technicality, he is human.
Right, but the technology he uses is not. Now,
that doesn't make him an alien, though.
But it's not that I don't trust him. I trust Hal. I just don't trust that stupid ring or the Guardians. This is just my thing. But there's only one or two other members that they use. They kind of switch out. Martian Manhunter
and Cyborg. Or is he?
He is a teen. I mostly see him as a Teen Titan, but he does become a member of the Justice League quite a bit. He's the only one that does that a lot.
Out of the Teen Titans, yeah.
The 5 ones that they use a lot for the marketing, yeah, he's the only one that does that most frequently. Robin sometimes does as Nightwing, but very rare. It's very rare. Um, but yeah.
But what was the other one? Or was that right?
What?
You said
Yeah, no, not Cyborg.
Martian Manhunter and
Hawkman. They use him every now and again, but sometimes they'll switch it out with Hawk Girl. But
I'm gonna take a guess here. You don't like Martian Manhunter, or don't trust him.
I don't trust him, but I dude likes chocolate chip cookies. How could I hate that? I may not be able to trust him, but I will.
Chill with him.
I will chill with him. Hey.
You'll hang out with him.
And little milk and cookies, yeah, I'm okay with that. I can't hate on the guy. Hawkman, on the other hand, I haven't seen much of, so I can't really say yay or nay. But Hawkgirl, she's a little too abrasive and aggressive.
And
but
sassy.
At the same time, she does have her good moments, like every other hero in it. But they're from a different planet as well. Funnily enough, I don't know how many people actually know that.
I mean, they're people with they have the ability to fly.
With gigantic wings. I know, but
it's kind of obvious they're not normal people.
Okay, but Poison Ivy can control planets at a certain point in the comics. Let's face it, man. And that brings us to the other part of this, the villain roster. How fun would it be to be a hero on these things with their villain roster?
Well, let's see here. You got Lex Luthor.
Which he's pretty much... Dude uses kryptonite way too much, and not in very exciting ways. You got Cheetah, which I might be able to convert her to the good side. Funnily enough. You got the various Batman villains that everybody knows, and most of those are human. Only a few exceptions aren't, or at the very least have weaponry that they got to use to become a little more.
Let's not forget
like Bane and Mr. Freeze have to use specific items to use power.
Let's not forget Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid's probably the only one that let's just say, oh, this is gonna be fun.
I don't like that his lasers can.
Those are called omni beams. Those things are no joke.
Of course not. They can track you down.
And more often not, Superman gets hit, Batman doesn't. You noticed that, right? Superman always seems to not dodge at the right time. Batman has honed his skills to the point where he can dodge and do the super.
Well, he does have
but it's very
so
close.
many years of self-trained martial arts.
And those are. And
you're gonna build up your reflexes doing that stuff.
I mean, he does come close though, so keep that in mind. But moving on to the Avengers. Now, these have a little bit of a more common roster than the Justice League do. So, right out the gate, Iron Man and Captain America. I'd be able to kick it with these two. Most Iron Man, let's face it, I can actually understand him a little bit.
He's a little too.
He can be a little flirty and does value the drink a little too much, but actually, as the years go on, his ego goes a little. He doesn't completely go away. Let's face it, most of these guys have egos the size of a planet.
Hulk, not really.
No, but Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, both versions of Ant-Man, Captain Marvel. Hell, Spider-Man has an ego problem every now and again.
Let's be fair here. We could kick it with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All three of us would be making quips.
Everybody on the planet could kick it with the Spider. But as far as Captain America goes, I got mad respect for the dude. The dude's a veteran. On top of that, dude practically survived going into the ice. I think it's because of his super soldier serum. But at the same time, dude, that's mad props, mad respect to the dude. Dude's awesome. Iron Man, I'd be able to kick it with him. I just have to make sure I stay away from him when he's really badly drunk.
I don't know if I could kick it with Iron Man.
Honestly, besides the drunkenness, you act like him half the time. You can be pretty egotistical sometimes. You don't listen half the time.
How dare you?
I notice you're not hitting me, so you know I'm at least partially right. Moving on, we got Thor. I cannot with this guy. I don't care what y'all say. I cannot deal with this guy's ego. Tony's can be deflated by Pepper. Thor, you cannot get this guy to just take a second, reflect.
I still think the funniest thing though is when he goes, is in I think it was.
Say the line, and I'll be able to tell you right off the gate.
Now you listen here. Boom. I'm listening.
Yeah, that was in 2012, the Avengers.
I thought that was the original Avengers.
But yeah,
He's
Loki.
just got Loki.
I
Now you
do
listen
have to
here.
mention Loki.
Tackle.
I actually side with Loki half the time. Funnily enough, at least when it comes to Thor's actions. The dude is too impulsive, too prideful. See, there's a difference between ego and pride. Let's face it, Tony's got the money, he's got the power, he's got the suit. The dude does have an ego, but he's also got somebody to reel it in a little bit. And he's got a couple people in his life that can do that. Happy Hogan, I've seen do it, and both versions of Nick Fury have done it.
Speaking of, we've also got Nick Fury.
Well, I'll get the Shield in a little bit. But next up, we have Dr. Banner and the Hulk. I'd be able to kick with both sides of the coin. Hulk,
As long as it wasn't out of control rage Hulk.
Yeah, that one I'd have to do some damage control. Hulk, calm down, buddy. But when he's just normal rage, I'd be latching on to him. Okay, big guy.
Let's do this.
Alright, I got you, buddy. I got you. But Dr. Banner, I can actually talk to him. I am him half the time. Meek, a little shy, and not really want a people person. I prefer to be on my own. It's just I get more work done. I get a hell of a lot more work done. However, either side, yeah, Dr. Banner or the Hulk, I'd be able to kick it with them.
Let's see. Who else we got?
Next up, we have pretty much, I'm going to be lumping most of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And that includes Hawkeye, Songbird, and Black Widow, and amongst others. As well as Nick Fury, the director of it. Okay. Right out the gate, I'd be able to maybe talk with Natasha and Nick Fury, but I'm not going to trust them. These guys have got secrets on top of secrets.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Black Widow is...
She's a spy, but Nick Fury's even worse.
No, I'm just... No, I'm with you on the Nick Fury thing.
Right.
I'm just saying, Black Widow is a spy.
Right. But so is Nick Fury, technically.
But Nick Fury is about 10 times worse.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is pretty much all full of spies.
Nick Fury is
worse than any of them. His secrets have secrets that have secrets.
That have secrets.
Exactly. Now, Hawkeye, on the other hand, I can't with this guy either. This guy is like you on a bad day. Like, really bad. And I don't know about him. Dudes, but man,
you haven't seen too many of my bad days.
But I will admit this. I'd do some target practice with him. I love a bow and arrow. And
I still think his most ridiculous thing was, I think it was also the first Avengers movie where he just not even looking.
He does that. I know I didn't touch on Green Arrow before, but he doesn't appear as often on the Justice League teams as I would like, so I decided not to talk about it.
Cyborg shows up fairly often, doesn't he?
Right, but I consider him more of a Teen Titan. I can't help
Honestly,
that. I grew up with the Teen Titans show.
I mean, I can understand that, but for the version that's in the Justice League, I think we could kick it with him.
Yeah. I mean, I could kick it with both versions. I'd be able to kick it with the Titans.
We both could kick it with the Titans. Well,
Raven
would be a little bit.
I might kick Beast Boy, but.
And then you and Raven would get along.
Oh yeah, dude, she loves literature. She loves books. Hey,
and she likes her quiet.
I'm pretty quiet when
I probably wouldn't be able to kick it with Raven.
No, you'd be like.
She'd be the one to kick me out.
Except for Starfire, too damn bubbly. Not bar.
So we've got reverses. You
can't.
You could
I
kick
can't.
it with Raven, I could kick it with Starfire, but we can't kick it with the other one.
Right. But
Me and
barring
Starfire would
that,
be the ones to bust in and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
we both just slam you
Just-
both out. Now,
And then Raven just slams the door in our face.
Yep. But now, next up we have the Ant-Man and the Wasp, and pretty much both versions of the Ant-Man and the Wasp, I could probably, they don't really do much. They don't really say much and everything. They prefer to keep them. Well, the Ant-Mans do. Both versions of Ant-Man seem to be okay with themselves a lot more.
I think the Wasp.
But the Wasp,
Sassy.
no, she's actually not. I mean, she knows what she wants. She knows what she wants and everything. So I'm okay with that. It's cool. But as far as that goes, yeah, those I'm kind of like, I'm gonna put in, neutral. I'm like, there are a few characters on. And then finally we have the last ones that they do pop up as the Avengers.
The Guardians.
No, see, those don't pop up with the Avengers as often as you would think. Those have been more recently. However, the most frequent ones that do join the team at some point are the Fantastic Four and Wolverine, specifically. Most of the X-Men do, but I prefer to focus on Wolverine. Wolverine, okay. This guy might be a little mean and gruff, but he's actually a big old teddy bear once you get to know him. He is. He really does care about his fellow heroes and mutants. He has a funny way. He doesn't have a good way of showing.
He's got a funny way of showing it like you do.
I mean, he is. He's a good guy. Says for Thing, my God, I could kick it with this dude.
Mr. Fantastic.
He doesn't seem to be really interested in human interactions yet. He seems to be all over the place, like his powers can be.
And then the Human Torch.
God, Johnny, showboating son of a bitch.
I don't think either one of us could get along with that guy.
I don't. I would be. Me and Thing would just be like, Johnny, stupid kid. Invisible Woman, she's awesome. She's like the mother hen of the group. Yeah, I'd be able to be okay with her.
Let's be fair here. The couple of times Deadpool joined in.
Deadpool, I'd love to do to death, but
you would be able to hang out with him.
At a certain point, I'm going to have to smack him.
You know for a fact I would get along with him just fine.
Oh, I get along with him, but at a certain point, everybody who's gotten along with him, even his closest friends, want to smack him at some point. That's how abrasive and jokey he is. He doesn't take anything seriously. You at least take something seriously. Don't lie to me. But yeah, as far as that goes, and then there's the villain roster. This is a hell of a lot more fun. A lot more superpowered freaks and geeks. You got everybody.
And not just crazy people with gadgets.
Right. But even then when they are, these gadgets are a little more powerful. You got Doc Ock's arms and the Vulture's wings, which makes him a little harder to get.
The Green Goblin.
Yeah, those pumpkin bombs are no joke. You got other Spider-Man villains like the Rhino, and then you got the mutants like the Juggernaut. Hell, Toad can give you a run for his money.
Juggernaut.
Hell, Toad's tongue can give you a run for his money if you're not careful.
And then let's not forget
and
the
then
big bads.
The big bads. You got Annihilus, Galactus, Thanos, Ultron. These guys are some heavy.
Now let's be fair here. Ultron is kind of Iron Man's fault because he made him.
No, that's on the movie version. In the comics, it's actually Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man, who did it.
Oh, so it's Ant-Man's fault.
In the comics. In the movies, it's Iron Man, but they both had good intentions with Ultron. Ultron just, the AI kind of went haywire.
Oh, but hey, what do you know?
But Ultron made Vision. Ultron did make Vision, so kind of pros and cons.
So, depending on which one, it's either Iron Man or Ant-Man's fault we have Ultron, but Ultron's the reason for Vision.
Right, so it's kind of like, okay, they made a villain by accident.
And then the villain made a hero.
Right, not as a new vessel for his body. But the heroes intervene and Vision becomes a good guy. But yeah, as far as
wow, the AI went bad.
Hell, Loki can give you a run for his money if he's not. If you're not careful. This is a hell of a lot more fun. See, for me, I don't want to just. More often than not, I really think these guys are pulling their punches with these supervillains. Joker, Scarecrow, Lex Luthor.
Now, to be fair, that nightmare gas is nothing to scoff at.
No, but Batman literally can shake it off at this point. He can shake it off. He knows Scarecrow's tricks at this point. He's not scared of it. He's scared of death, dude. They had a Reaper on, I don't remember which movie, but the dude literally said boo and the Reaper ran, disappeared. He's scared death itself. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna kick it with Batman.
He scared away your boss?
I can respect that. Not many people can scare the Reaper himself, dude.
Wonder if
And
he
it wasn't
scared
even,
you.
and he wasn't even really technically the Reaper. I think he did say this one has vexed us, which implies that there's more than one Reaper.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. There's no way one Reaper can handle all the people dying every day.
Yeah, that's the way I
That's
think it.
way too much stress for one guy.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong he is.
That's but you know what's funny is in the comics, Death is actually three. There's three different versions of it, and they're all female.
Yeah.
That was originally
And one of them
Thanos'
is
plot.
and one of them one of them with Deadpool.
And it's love triangle with Thanos, no less. That's why he's immortal, for the most part. He dies and then he has to come back, so he only has a short time with Death.
Well, he died. Well,
And
that's
Thanos
why Thanos
regrets it
cursed
now,
him.
and Thanos regrets it now for doing that because now,
He can't get rid of him.
right? Otherwise, Deadpool dies completely
And
doesn't come back,
and he gets to stay with that.
right? But
And then he basically just gives Thanos the middle finger.
Yep.
Like, ha ha, I win.
now, granted, he does die, but it's only for short bursts and everything. But that's the
What
healing
is-
factor for you. That's healing factor. That's comics for you. But yeah, as far as that goes, there's a lot more fun in the Marvel universe as far as like villains go. Let's face it, you want to punch out a few villain likes, you go to the Marvel universe. It's all.
I think I'm joining.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
The
There
Avengers.
are a lot of infighting with the Avengers.
But they pull it together. When they
usually
need to.
you can usually pick which side you're on pretty easily. For Captain America versus Iron Man during Captain America Civil War, don't get me wrong, I love Tony. I love him to death. But those Accords were not good. Those Accords were not good. Do you mind?
No.
I mean, the Accords were pretty bad. I mean, like Falcon said, what happens if, you know, a villain attacks or some big army tries to invade New York? Well, and the government doesn't let them go after it. It's millions of deaths, way more than the Battle of New York. You are pulling my hair doing that.
I didn't mean to.
There.
There.
Better? Good grief. But yeah, it's the thing is, those Accords weren't good. But at the end of the day,
The second one, no.
at the end of the day, Justice League, there's a couple of people that I'd be able to get you with, but a couple of
You wouldn't be able to deal with Superman.
Superman alone is a big factor for me. I just can't with this guy.
What about Wonder Woman?
I'm neutral with her. She has her moments where even I'm just like, I can't agree with that, but other times I can. She does try to rehabilitate some of her villains. But then again, guys, go in the comment section down below and tell me what you think.
I have to
but,
go with Avengers.
but please, guys, be nice in the comments. I know this is comics. I know there's a lot of things going on here.
I
But,
can't wait to see this comment section explode.
well, if it ever does. But believe me, guys, I'm not here to start a rumble. I'm not here to start a fight. Believe me, I know comic book.
Fight!
Please tell me you are joking.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not trying to start a rumble. I'm trying to start a fight. I know Comics 101. My friend here might be a little naive about it, about asking very specific questions. But then again, I don't know too many things about anime. I'm still learning there too, so a little give and take.
Nudge.
Oh, so at a later date, we'll discuss something else superhero related. But with that being said, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Those will help make sure you're notified. You just love having fun, don't you?
Yes. That's why I think I'd get
Share the
along best
video.
with Deadpool.
Believe me, you'd be able to get along with him, but you would not last long. I give you a week tops with Deadpool. I love the dude to death, and I'd be able to kick it with him, but I only insure first because the dude's so freaking great.
If we could actually meet with them, would you actually make that bet?
I actually would. I would make a bet that you'd only last a week. You would have to get away from him for a bit. You would have to get away from him for a
Well,
bit.
we'll never know.
Finally, go down in the comment section down below and let me know what you think of this video. On top of that, which side do you pick on? Hey, it's fine. We got no qualms here on which side you're on. It's just with personality wise, we got to figure out which meshes well, you know. And let's face it, I'm gonna be fighting villains. I need to have some fun, a little bit of a challenge, you know.
Oh, you want some
I
fun?
don't be running around after these guys. I want to be actually duking it out with them.
Oh, you don't want to chase down the Riddler and the Joker?
Not particularly, no.
Riddle me this, yeah?
I'm not doing this with you. But I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to throttle my friend. Bye.